sing, crying out across the stars. It is the anthem of the players, crushed beneath the endless jars.
When the packs are 99 and the servers barely run, then the game becomes a prison and the players say,
we're done.
Will you join the cause today? Raise your banners through the void. Stand together as a people. Make the galaxy annoyed. When the credits fuel the chains and the joy is sold away, we will fight for what was promised and we'll take the game we play. Will you buy or will you fight for a fleet that's truly free? Will you pay $100 just to grind the same debris? Same debris. Same debris.
From the board.
All right, let's turn that down a little bit. Welcome in, everybody. It is Sunday Fun Day. Hopefully you've had a great weekend. I really do. I want to say thank you, first of all, to those who are here, those who support the channel. Last night, I did not stream on Twitch, so I want to say thank you because that's when we celebrated my birthday. And to celebrate my birthday, our friend Zero came down, another one of the streamers, and we went to a hockey game. This is all a thank you to those who support the channel, because without y'all support, I couldn't afford to even celebrate my birthday. And to prove to you I'm not lying to you, here's a picture of me and my wife at the hockey game. So big thank you to those who support me and my family and allow me to celebrate my birthday. And the good news is our sports puck team won 9-5. So at least we even got a W. That was fun. Today's stream, I want to focus on two main topics. Lower level events have changed a little bit, possibly for the positive, but I want to get more feedback to kind of see, do y'all agree? And then also, how are our G7 players, like I saw John Bondi here, handling the extreme rep grinds of G7? We could even talk some of the crews that people are using right now. And yeah, good teams, good times, good fun. That's the goal with everybody here. Big shout out to Pseudo, who comes in. Pseudo's 71 now. He says, F that rep grind, which stands for fudge. Fudge that rep grind. We got 22. We got Scud Missile, which, by the way, Scud Missile, shout out. If y'all don't know, this is actually the USS Scud Missile, because Scud Missile is the reason I was able to do a Dauntless video. So y'all give a big thank you out to Scud Missile. Again, I say it all the time. It's the people who support this channel on our website and such, and who donate to the channel that allow us to make the content. Without you, none of this happens. So big thank you to those who do. Shout out to Scud Missile and the USS Scud Missile. So we're going through those different topics. Shout out to Emperor Hot Dog, Superman Prime, Ahmad. Good to see you, Skyquake. Let's see, Big Daddy Mendoza. The Truth is Real. Edward C. Engineering. Good to see y'all as well. John Grimm, King Kuko. Good to see you. Michael, 22 Catch. Trying to get everybody, but just appreciate y'all for being here. Somebody, also good to see you as well. Hopefully y'all are having a fantastic weekend, but let's start off with it. How are you handling, speaking specifically to our higher levels, the new elevated reps? Now, for those that don't know the new elevated reps, I've been putting them in videos, but I can put them on the screen here, right over there. Those are the new reputation levels. As you can see, they are quite high. They are quite high, right? They're up there. Trillions of reputation. Now, good news. Who wasn't looking for this? They are now selling rep packs that, depending on your ops level, giving out 250 or more billion reputation. So it only costs you about $10,000 to make it to Prestige 2. Now, do you want to do that? I'm not saying you do, but I am saying that there are people who are going to do it, and that's one way to handle the rep. I'm more curious, how is everybody else going about it? And I've had some good news as well. So Pseudo is, for those that don't know, Pseudo is one of our longtime nerds who does a lot of grinding and number crunching. Pseudo, we've been doing some testing. Don't know if you noticed this. Falloon is actually working in the Mirror Universe now. Don't know if that is intentional or not. Shh, don't let Scopely know. But I know in original testing he wasn't. I've had multiple nerds, including Sugar Fat Man, come out and say he is indeed, which has actually changed how the rep is approaching, or how rep is being approached by a lot of players, because when you had, like you're saying, that Black Ox Chapel fix, getting that fixed with Felon has now changed some of the rep designs. So combining Felon with things like the Agony Booth are allowing some of our players who are in the upper G6 range to grind, you know, 1 billion, 2 billion a day. Now, that's still a long cry from getting 1 trillion reputation, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. And then as you get into the Veil has hostiles that pay out better rep as well. Though the drawback to the Veil versus the Mirror Universe, for those who are unaware, is it goes back to the old system. As in, it's when you hit a hostile, you get 2 positives and 1 negative, with one of those positives being double the other. So you're back to the dual grinding set versus the old method, which was the new method, which was tri-faction grinding. Zero, good to see you. I'm assuming, Zero, this means you made it home safely. For those who don't know, Zero is the guy who came and went to the hockey game with me. It's cool to have friends in real life. So now that we've got some options in rep grinding, then the question becomes the pacing. Now, again, they are selling packs for you high-level players who want to go after it that way. And I actually warned everybody that was going to happen, because if y'all remember when G6 rolled out its rep runs of up to 15 billion and 500 billion were seen as ridiculous, and they sold packs for that. And you just knew it was going to happen in G7 as well. So we have those as an option. But for those who aren't willing to spend, you know, the 10 grand it costs to get to the level 73's needed prestige level, finding methods for those players is big. Now, Pseudo, if you'd be so kind, could you shoot me a screenshot that I can put on the screen real quick of a crew and include the Agony Booth, just so we can give people a visual. I don't know if there's one. I know there's one in my Discord somewhere, but could you send it real quick? I should have had this prepared. I didn't. I apologize. But message to me real quick so I can show people what to be looking at as a G6 player. Tibbs, good to see you. Says, I've had something to tell you, but I forgot what it is. I bet I know what it is, Tibbs. And it's that you appreciate me, you love me, and we are going to run off together and leave our wives and all of our problems, and we're just going to run off to an island to play Star Trek Fleet Command together with Starlink Internet. So I bet that's what it was. I bet that's what it was. So now Sugar says base Veil hostiles are a little over 2 times the singular rep gains from Mirror. Correct. Which is the kind of the debate that you have to figure out for yourself if you're level 70 and 70 plus, is do you want to go into the Veil and go after this, but then have to revert to dual faction grinding, or do you want to do things like, you know, use a high level Dauntless in Mirror and then just send the Dauntless out every day with Agony Booth, with the crews, and then run that. And that is the difficult decision that wonderful people like Pseudo and John Bondi and Jazzbo and Humble and all the regulars that y'all see here on the channel have got to decide for themselves. What is going to be most beneficial? Personally, I'm glad I'm not doing it. Sugar says, is it about the Squall auto-warping back with 0 loot? What are you referring to? So, what are you referring to? Squall. Is that a Haggard song? No, we don't have any Merle Haggard here. I avoid copyright songs, just simply because, you know, copyright. But all the music you're listening to in the background is AI music we wrote about Star Trek Fleet Command. So I lied. I said I was going to release that album on my birthday. I haven't released it yet, but that's what plays in the background. Thank you for being here. And guzzle drinks with those little umbrellas in them. I didn't do any guzzling of drinks. Now, Zero had a couple, but Zero can attest that I stayed 100% straight edge and sober on his visit this weekend. Somebody had to be the designated Dave. Now I was the designated Dave. Good to see you, Andy Grimm. Welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome. Pseudo has now sent a picture because Pseudo is very helpful, which I know is surprising to you. I was shocked the first time it happened to me. But here is an example of one of the runs for going against these new hostiles. This is the Order of Grandma. That's what I call them. The Order of the Grandma hostile. You can see running a crew that you probably wouldn't expect. And then here is the below decks assortment. Remember, the main below deck stuff is going to stay pretty much the same. Where you're looking at Wrath of Khan Joaquin, you like to have the below deck burning morale, hull breach. You like having Hugh. And depending on how many slots you have, obviously there are some limitations. You could even have Wrath of Khan Savick and Nurse Chapel in there for that cascade. So again, this is the type of conversation that a lot of players hadn't figured out, the changing of the styles when it comes to rep grinding and how they want to approach it. Now, because you can still approach it what has become the traditional style of just going after the mirror universe. Don't feel bad about the Saints lost again because your Jets also lost. Well, Tibbs, but what if I want the Jets to win so that I can have the number one pick? That's no fair. Anywhere from Scopely Overlords regarding the Cosmic Choice Weekend event for 44 and below players. No, I have continued to express dissatisfaction that lower level players are being left out of that. However, apologies, they have not addressed it. Now, we will be showing you a new series of events that Scopely is doing instead, that I'm not saying is the design replacement, but that is in addition to, that I think has been good, and I'll show that here in a second. Thank you, Ahmad, for the blessings. Yeah. Was your wife a character in Star Trek? No, although that would have been really cool. No, she was not. She's just beautiful. Yeah, she's as hot as an actress, but she's not an actress. She's good at acting, dramatic, but no. Our alliance is not able to participate in the Surge event because we do not have a level 71 in our alliance. Do you think Scopely will change that? No, nor do I think they should, to be honest with you. One of our main complaints we always have is, oh, there's too much crap to do. I think a mistake would be making Surges launchable for level 69s. I really do. Let G7 content be G7, right? Do events that apply to you, and if they don't apply to you, great. That means there's one less thing for you to do that day. You can actually focus on the things that you do want to or need to do that day. Now, that's my opinion. There are people who disagree with that opinion. I've actually had that conversation a couple of times. So don't feel like you're alone in your thought. You're not the only person who's brought that thought to me. Personally, I'm of the mind, no, let G7s be the ones who are launching those. If you don't have it, you're not really missing out on a ton as a lower level. Yes, it does offer some specialty ship, progression speed up, depending on which one you need to work on. Not all of them are available, but I think G7 content should be G7 content, and if we can contribute to that, great. If not, no big deal. So, no big deal. Is there a way to unstick a Dauntless when it freezes? Mine stopped hitting hostiles with tons of time left on the timer. Oh gosh, that is a problem. We have seen, it really sucks, because I talked about how in testing the Dauntless had not gotten stuck, and they had really tried to work on ways to make the Dauntless more reliable, and yet it really has become problematic in Surges. We've actually seen it break in Surges with several players, and now that as well. I do not have an easy fix for you. I can tell you this. Please put in a ticket. The more people I can get to put in Dauntless-related tickets, the more I can then try to, push for that to be something that's addressed a lot faster than the Kashara was. But it is breaking. And just for all those who are out there debating, do you get the Dauntless? Just be warned, it is not running 100% of the time. It's not. Now, I do want to add that the Dauntless has an issue of, beyond just sometimes the ability breaking, the Dauntless also has the issue, it has the current longest upgrade timetable of any specialty ship in the game. And I think that is really, really bad. I think that needs to be spoken up loudly by more people, including more content creators, VIPs, official moderators, etc. If you're out there and you have any type of voice, please speak up about that. It's over 700 days to max out the Dauntless. It's just ridiculous. We're literally talking 2 years. And for something that can help with what things we were just talking about, rep grinds, things like that, that is just absolutely silly. And I know Scopa doesn't like it when I use such emphatic language, but honestly, what else can I say about it? It is silly. That is absolutely silly in my humble ginger opinion. So, all that said, talk about those topics, and let's go ahead and switch real quick, because I do want to talk about the events that I was referring to over on the G3, G4, early G4 side of things, because I do believe this is a positive, although I am still very loudly saying weekend spend events need to return to provide Officer Depot tokens. Great. Yeah, you broke. Good job. Thank you. Thank you for working correctly. Good old STFC. So, but you have this new set of meta events, the first time they're really running these out, at least consistently, that are based on sourcing of both officer and fleet commander. I actually really like this as a format, and I hope they continue it. Now, if you've not seen it, this is what it looks like. Where they're sourcing Strange New World officers and Mr. Locutus. Now, obviously, this is just one run of this, and completing SMSs will contribute to the overall meta, with the SMSs also contributing, rewards. For example, we'll go mine, dock, raid, etc. We get stuff, we finish stuff. I like this as a concept. I think this is good. I want to see more stuff like this added in, right? Cosmic conflict, same idea. This one being an Armada-based one. Some of these are, I think, good ideas. But I still think the Officer Depot tokens has got to return as a primary point as well. So, and yes, Bruno, G7 has its own AOB for the aggressor hostiles. It does. It does. Corey says 700 days is kind of dumb. Hope they add sourcing. Well, it's they just need to improve the upgrade sourcing, right? I mean, that's really all there is to it. It's the sourcing of the ship is 100 days, and then you add 700 more days to max. That's over 800 days you're expected, again, assuming nothing changes, over 800 days you're expected to work on and max out the Dauntless. That's a bit ridiculous. Again, I know sometimes I can speak emphatically and sometimes I can be a little bit dramatic in how I word things, but I think there's logic to what I'm saying, and I feel like most chat would agree that is too long. I think, personally, what we as a community need to do more of is advocating that every specialty ship that comes in needs to follow the Revenant timetable. The Revenant is a 100-day unlock, and then post-unlock, the Revenant is a little over 200 days to max out. That is a good, reasonable, in my opinion, path. And that's what I really want to really push for, to be consistent. And that way, if you still want to sell a prime, like JC's saying, prime Dauntless materials, cool, sell a prime that knocks it down to 100 days. The people who spend the money get it done in 3 months versus 6. We know new ships are coming out, right? Shocker, for those out there, more things are coming. I don't know if you knew this. More things are coming. But that's also why I like events like this. We just need events, events being what I'm referring to here, the sourcing of officers and fleet commanders for lower levels. We just need this to also start extending to sourcing the materials themselves for the ships. So, yeah. You should play the game on Mercury. Days go faster. What a beautiful comment, America. I do like nerdy stuff. I really do. Dinwitt says 2 years to max Dauntless, 4 to get it added to the IA. Oof, IA still heavy on the hearts. I understand. They want to make sales first. Upgrade speeding up always comes later. You're not wrong, Davey, and I'm not ignorant to that fact. But that doesn't change the fact that day one, the Revenant had a 200-day upgrade path. That hasn't changed. So my argument is not that they need to make their money. I agree. I am very grateful to those people who are willing to spend money on Star Trek Fleet Command so that I can choose to not spend money on Star Trek Fleet Command. It's the inconsistency that I'm arguing against, right? It's the why does it take so long for this one, but not long for this one? Remember, there's different day pathings for different ships, right? Some of them are like the Eviscerator, which isn't terrible. Some of them are like the Vindicator, which is terrible, right? Some of them are like the Reliant. Some of them are like the NSCA. Remember, the NSCA is over 600 days. But there are some that are shorter, that are in the 200-day range. That's what I'm arguing about, is having that be consistent, right? You're still going to make your money. If you're Scopely, the people who are going to buy into your new ship, they're going to do that in the first 30 days, right? I don't think there's many user cases of 6 months down the road, somebody went, I'm going to buy the NSCA, I'm going to max it out today. Don't see that. And I don't see that happening because there was a 600-day upgrade path or a 200-day upgrade path. Whatever main sales they're going to get in the first few hours, first few weeks. So that's where I'm coming from. Sugar Fatman says the biggest problem that they see is Scopely adding these new events, but taking away events people like the Cosmic Choice. It's phenomenal. 44 and below should have it as well. I agree. Especially for a company that is very loudly saying from multiple pulpits. They're doing it from YouTube videos with the GM. They're literally going into the VIP chat saying the same thing, that they're wanting to speed up lower and mid-level progression. Well, you don't do that by taking away the primary way currently in the game to source officers that are needed for players to progress. And whether they like it or not, players are not just going to rush up to level 50 because they were told to. Because then they don't have Janeway. And then they don't want to be gaslit by Scopely when Scopely comes up and says, well, how come you don't have Janeway? Well, maybe because you rushed him up. So that's the argument, right? I completely get where you're coming from, that they have to make their money. And I do want Scopely with Star Trek Fleet Command to be profitable, because that's the way the game survives. But there's that balance. You know, does that make sense? I'm definitely not trying to harp and sound negative. I'm advocating for a better balance, and I want to praise things when they're good. And again, I think certain lower level events that are being done are good, certain are not, right? Certain negative changes that I would argue for a lower level is this. There's no more choice tokens. No more. You get what you get. You're back to the old school style of battle passes. You do not get to choose to have all Trit, all Crystal. You get exactly what you get now. And that's it. Unless you're with the newest level of content, they're dipping the battle passes back to the old format. So some moves in the positive. I think this is a positive move. I think IMSs that have sourcing like this are a positive move. This is something that Scopely, I promise you, I'm giving you credit where it's due. There's some things that are not good, that need better. That's what I'm trying to call out. So, what's the latest European server? Here, I'll pull it up for you. Is it 409? Here, I will pull it up so I don't misquote. And I'll pull up the brand new EU server, or the newest. It just launched a couple months ago. And the newest server in Europe is 410. It just launched in August. It is server 410 Herogen. There are currently 756 players on it with an average operations level of 12.59. So if you're one of those players, or you're wanting to give a new account a shot, you're saying, hey, I want to try something different, I want to come back to the game, that's the newest one, is 410 over in the European side of things. Still low pop, still getting full, right? But there you go. Your thoughts on this Treasury, are they the same as the last time they did this type of one? My thoughts on this style of Treasury have not changed. If they're going to do, let me say this real quick. If they're going to run 3 Treasuries a month, I don't care, which is what happened last time, right? For those that don't remember, let me reiterate the question and the point, because it's always important to be informed. This Treasury mirrors the Adami Treasury, which was a, why did you not work? Like, oh, it's the sell button. I forgot. This is the level 44 account. The little low level accounts don't get the Treasury. So what they're doing is doing an extra Treasury, focusing on this villain. That's where the value is. And then they'll run the regular Treasury next week if they follow last month's format. If that's the style, I don't have a problem. I don't have an issue with that. If they want to run 3 Treasuries and you say, hey, this is valuable for you and you want to buy it or you want to free to play it, cool. I'm okay with that as long as they don't take away the other Treasury options. Now, if they've decided, hey, we're only giving this Treasury and we're taking away resources in lieu of more officer shards, then I will complain. But what they did last month is they ran this special Treasury, which was more officer shard focused for that month's officer, but then they still ran the other Treasuries. So we just got to be like, oh, okay, no big deal. We'll see. If next week we don't have regular Treasuries, right? If we're not seeing that format return and they're saying, screw it, we're just trying to make people buy the officer via the Treasury, then I will gripe. But if they just decided, hey, we're going to do another Treasury like they do more battle passes so that they can sell an officer, yeah, I'm fine with that. Right? Again, Scopely as a company is here to make a profit. Believe it or not, they're not here to make an amazing Star Trek game. They're here to make money. And if they can make money with an amazing Star Trek game, they're going to do that. It's just the dirty truth of it. I know, ooh, yucky money. Cool, but nobody's out here making Star Trek IP games, especially with the price that Paramount charges for the funds and the giggles of it. They're doing it to make buku money. So I get it. They need to make a little bit of their buku money. I want to find a way for them to make money and for us to be happy. And a good way for that balance to be found, I think, is stuff like that. You want to add another treasury or another battle pass that I can ignore and spenders can buy? Thumbs up from Rev. Now, y'all provide your thoughts if you disagree. I always like to keep my platform open to disagreement so that I get a well-rounded view from all players. Now, Denwit says some actual communication about the Treasury would be nice. This is where we get into the more negative side of companies like Scopely, where ignorance drives spending. And I've said that a lot. I should probably make it into a t-shirt or a hat. 2 people will buy it. Sometimes communication is purposely withheld because if you don't know there's another better treasury coming, you get this treasury. And then the other one comes and you go, well, maybe I need to get that one as well. Sometimes ignorance is intentional. Sometimes lack of comms is intentional. Now, there are plenty of things I agree they should communicate better. Some things I just don't believe they're going to communicate better is what does that make sense what I'm saying? Right? Does that make sense? Some things are intentionally vague because if you don't know the treasury schedule, you can't as easily plan for it. And if you can't as easily plan for it, maybe you're more likely to buy one or the other. Some of you out there may go, well, that means I'm less likely to buy. Cool. Remember, this game is targeting a specific group of people. The group of people this game is targeting are the ones who are going to spend more, not less. As in the people who are happy to spend $500 a week. And there are a lot of them out. There are thousands of them out there. So if those people are willing to buy Treasury for Villain Ducat this week, and then another Treasury comes around next week that is, focused on Sigma Trit, and they can sell that one too, then they're going to buy it. And then if they do a ship parts one the next week, we're jumping up and down like, oh my gosh, I got 3 treasuries, gave me everything I wanted to buy. Just remember that you might not be the target demographic. You might be Rev's target demographic where I'm trying to help you do this game for as cheap or free as possible. But you might not be Scopely's target demographic. Right? Sugar says, I vote add more battle passes and fewer treasuries. I got no free track from an extra treasury. I do get a ton of extra free track when they run extra battle pass. See, as a mostly free-to-play player, I agree with you. I would much rather have more battle passes. It's why I tell people when extra battle passes come out, people have been like, Rev, why do you not gripe at them about that? Because that's free stuff. I'll take another Villains, and then I'll take 4 season pass style. Yes, give me those. Because I might not buy it, but I'll free it. I'll free it so hard. And that way, if people do want to buy it, they can. I would much rather have 10 battle passes than 10 treasures. But battle passes are, 20 to 50 bucks each. Treasures are $100 each. And only Scopely knows how financially successful these methods are. I said it last month. The current treasury is an experiment. Can they... Okay, I get a little bit more history. Some of y'all know this. I apologize if I'm reiterating something you're already aware of. One of the main money makers every month for 7 years now has been officers. Specifically, since battle passes came out in 2020, so for 5 years now, monthly officer sales have been one of the primary money makers in this game. However, in the past year or two, that has been dipping more and more each month. So you've seen them experimenting with different ways to get that higher again, right? They'll try different types of SLBs. They've tried XSLBs, RLBs. They've tried heroic SMSs, Kobayashi Maru SMSs. Now they're trying treasuries. Different things to try to get you to buy the officers directly. Right? That's what this is. Different things to get you to buy things directly. And that's the experiment. And if this works well, they'll keep doing it. If it doesn't work well, they'll change to another format. For those curious, well, why do we not have Villain Ducat as our SLB SMS? He's in the treasury. That's why. This is all as in an attempt to try to have those sale numbers for that officer be high because that's one of their main revenues each month. And that's fine. Sell what you want to sell. I'm not going to gripe at you. I don't actually know how many people actually care about having new base rating officers. I mean, they'd be cool to have. I'm not saying they're bad. I just don't know how many people are jumping up and down for, more base raid. Yeah, so, not bad, just not like jumping up and down. Again, a point. It's not a negative. It's just not necessarily a big positive. So, curious how far that pew takes me. I'm almost a 1 billion power at 63. I'm proud of myself. Let me go start you real quick and get you cooking. Yeah, I want that ISO defense and ISO damage. There we go. There we go. Just curious, what are we up to? Oh, so close. So close. Anyway, back to chat. Mika Dave is going great. Hope it's going well for you. Hope it's going well for you. I have a question. Is there tax when you buy something? Yes. Yes. For me to buy a pack, it's $110.90, which is based on the taxes in my region. So, Mock says the Treasury is great. Mock, would you like to expound on that, please? I love getting opinions from various people. Why do you think the Treasury is great, Mock? Please share it with everybody else. So, please share it with everybody else. Tom says if they want us to buy officers more, they should stop making them obsolete in 6 months. We all got burned on strike teams. And I completely agree. Now, I will say this, to your point, they've not done base rating officers in a long time. So the past 2 months, they are actually kind of doing what you're saying. Now, I'm not saying that people need to go out and buy these. I'm not arguing that. But I'm saying, okay, well, they kind of heard you. They're trying out a different style, and they're not just re-rolling the same officers. You've not had rating officers in years. Rom was your last raider. So if they stuck with this, okay. Now, they go back to flipping strike teams, different. So, yeah. Base rating kind of messed up since the resource shields are insane. It kind of varies. Like I've said in the Twitch streams, I'm not sure how many people have heard that. Scopely has discussed and may have actually already created an item that allows them to focus on Sigma raids directly, as in we bypass the regular par steal and grab the Sigma par steal first. That is not released in the game yet. That is something that has absolutely been discussed and I believe has been designed. I'm not confirming it. I'm saying I know it's been talked about and I think they've designed it. So that argument has been heard, Robert, but please don't take that as a Rev's got like a secret sauce. He's giving you a date. I'm not telling you that, but the item that the rumor mills that persist would absolutely be an item that's sold. It wouldn't be just like, oh, we now free to play this, right? But if you are a player that is experiencing G6, there's about 30,000 players between G6 and G7 now. There's about, I think there's like 1,300 level 71, stuff like that. One of the biggest needs that all those players need is Sigma Tritanium. Like right now, I have 300,000 Sigma Tritanium. And just to give you all a visual reference, you know, this is a low tier Akira, 40,000, 30,000 apart. Again, this is just a level, it's a tier 3 Akira. So it's very easy to burn through quickly. Imagine what that looks like in tier 12, tier 15. Not saying take your Akiras to tier 15, more just getting a point across, right? Things start getting quite hefty when you're needing Sigma Trit, and to a degree, even your Sigma Dilly, depending on how your researches are going. So, absolutely, everybody here wants to get more Sigma Trit. You built an Akira, why? Why wouldn't I? That's actually the better question. Why would I not build an Akira? So, why would I not build an Akira? All right. Now, Mika says this is a terrible treasury, shorting us on resources while charging the same price. And again, just to re-explain, this is the same value. It's just officer shards. You're choosing to buy the officer. You can still skip this, but the value just shifted. The value is for the officer, not the resources. You still have a treasury that will be about the resources if that's what you prefer. So, I don't really see that as a negative. I don't really see this as a negative. Just don't buy it, right? Just don't buy it. Davey says for free to play, these treasuries are great. Mostly not for the shards or for the latinum. I've never been able to get this huge of an amount. Yeah, so that is one thing I also want to point out. If you're a free to player, let's just say you're a real free to play out there. Remember, the standard treasury is based on spending. This treasury is not. So this treasury, if you're a pure free to play or somebody who almost never spends, so you get the crappy treasury offer, this is fantastic because you're actually going to be able to get the full latinum that you would get from a pack here versus getting 20,000. That's fantastic. So if you're a pure free-to-play, there's an argument to be made that this is the best treasury available if you're saving a free-to-play treasury. If you're somebody out there who refuses to spend a dime on this game, but you do save up your free-to-ceiling rods, this is probably the best treasury that you've ever seen, and will see. So you would actually want them to continue with this method even more. So King says, aren't they terrible in PvP and PvE? Wouldn't it be better to use the G5 epics? So they're not terrible in PvE. An Akira or any of the 63 uncommons can do any of the PvE content perfectly fine. Yes, they struggle in PvP because of the firing pattern. The main reason I got it, 2 real reasons. Honestly, 3 real reasons. Let me give you the reasons why I do advocate everybody build an uncommon. Number 1, it does force you to slow down your gameplay a little bit. Why do I believe that's important? I am of the mind, and everybody's welcome to disagree, the worst way to play Star Trek Fleet Command is to focus on opsing up as quickly as possible, because all that's doing is getting you closer to Scopely pain points and Scopely really trying to twist your arm to have to buy something. So this forces you to play a smidge slower. You can still move very quickly with picking these up, because I'm not saying take them to tier 15. What's reason number 2? Each one of the 63 uncommons unlocks hazard research, and you need each of the uncommons to get those researches. So if you are a person who wants to take advantage of all research available to you, you will need them for that reason anyway. Third reason, it's the USS Thunderchild, which is a fantastic ship. It fought the Borg in Star Trek First Contact, right? It's made multiple Star Trek appearances, and it's just cool. I'm a ship collector. Right, so there's multiple ways it can be valuable. Can you skip these and just say ignore them? I would be lying to you if I said no. You can absolutely skip them and focus on your GS31, focus on your relativity, and specially ship your way all right on past. It's not the style of play that I believe leads to the most fun level of gameplay. That's my opinion, but I'll absolutely help you do it either way. If you go, hey, I don't want this because I can't PvP with it and I can use my maxed out epics. Again, example, maxed out epic, easily doing all my stuff with. You just saw me doing my G6 solo armadas with it. Cool. I can definitely help you show you the pathway to do that with specialty ships. But it does make you slow down a little bit naturally, which helps you avoid pitfalls. If you play just a smidge slower like Rev does, you'll never struggle with whatever new hostile scope he puts out. I promise you won't. You'll never struggle with a hostile. You're likely going to be good in PvP. If you want to be, you have the opportunity to be good in PvP for your peers. 3, you'll experience less financial pain points. As in, let's say right now, you're level 72. There's a few of them out there. Their pain point is, well, if I want to stay on top, I have to decide, do I want to buy these reputation packs? And do I want to get to the 73 uncommons, which are significantly better firing pattern-wise than the G6 ships, and become real King Hoss? You have to debate that yourself, and that is a financial pain point that I don't want to have to ask myself. Like, JB is great. For those that don't know, JB is our free-to-play who's now in G7. But you know what JB's not going to have for a long time? What I just said. Now, that isn't saying that JB is a bad player. JB is a very good player, and I recommend you watch his content. It's always good to get multiple viewpoints on how to play games, because you need to find what works for you. But JB also knows his limitations of his style of play, right? Like, JB's not ignorant to how things work. You got to figure out what works for you. That's why I advocate playing slower. He advocates opting up as quickly as possible, understanding you might have limitations in some areas, but you can have fun even with those limitations. Just find what works for you. We'll all help you out, whichever way is that way. All right. Robert adds, as a pure free-to-play, these treasuries are a godsend. And again, you can't undervalue the Latinum version for a pure free-to-play. If you're level 45 and above, you've never seen this much Latinum available to you. And that can really help you out with the speed ups, with preparing for G6. That can be very, very valuable. Zachary says, I need help. I'm missing 1 shard for the ablative armor. I completely finished the common Q trials and have no way to get the 3 common forbidden fragments. Need sourcing. Zachary, your only hope is to put in a ticket with customer support and pray that they take mercy upon your soul and help you out. That's really the only option there. Joseph says, I'm mostly a free-to-play, and I'm wondering if you suggest for me buying the D7 refit from a Rotaran because I plan on riding it to 66. Honest answer, Joseph, no. That isn't to say that I don't believe the Rotaran is good. But at 62, I'm gonna hazard a guess. Your retard's already maxed, right? Yes or no? Is it already maxed? Okay, I gotta wait for an answer. Short answer, my answer is no. But if you were going to buy it, that's the coronar. Wrong one. I also hate that they all look the same. That bugs me. If you were going to buy it, the main value is the efficiency for upgrading it. 1,500. Look, I know it looks big. That's what she said. But 1,500% of a damage bonus in today's game is not a lot. It is not a lot. You also should not have gone to 62 with a tier 8 epic. Shame on you, Joseph. I'll spank you. But truthfully, with the amount of materials and stuff that gets paid out, unless you're starting tier 1, I don't believe you ever get your bang for your buck if you buy this unless you literally start at tier 1 with it. Now, if you just like it because it's pretty, buy it because it's pretty. But if you're a player who's very picky about where you spend your money, there's better ways to spend your money than buying the D7 skin. Because the damage bonus is not going to change your world. Because 1,500 is nice, but it's not amazing. And if you've already made it through most of your 250% bonus, then what are you spending the money on? Does that make sense? So, what's a good source of rare Fleet Commander credits? The Vindicator Refinery. Doing your Vindicator Refinery. I hope that answers your question, Joseph. But also, max that epic out. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. But yeah, and I have the skin. Like you see, I have it. Shout out to Nemesis. Nemesis is actually the one who got it for me. It's a beautiful skin. But the skin really should be purchased as a cosmetic. That is my opinion. Basically, every ship skin is a cosmetic that you decide you think makes your stuff look cooler than Amy Grimm. And if you can look cooler than Amy Grimm, that is a goal worth pursuing. But don't buy it for the bonus. The bonus is Lanyap. So, what's a good source of NSCA shards, Galactic Invasions, and event stores? It's the only source, besides money. Yeah. All right, back to the comments. Don't want to miss anything. With the G5 uncommons, what would be the highest you'd to say take them, as I don't plan on making push to 60 for a good little while? If you're going to use the 53s to do your waves, your solos, etc., tier 7. You can argue tier 9 if you really want to stay there a while, but I would say tier 7. That way you're saving most of the rares for later ships, but you still get good warp range and bang for your buck on your solo waves. So, yeah, that would be my thought, right? You're going to have, because again, what do I always tell G5 players? You need to be running solo waves a lot. Well, you need 3 good ships to do that, and the GS31 could be one of them, but you're still going to need others to soak up the damage. So at least a tier 7 there would be my thought. So, you know, and it's the same with the rares. Like, I would not max out a Sanctus or a Sompek unless you just had materials to spend on like a leaderboard. It's like, for example, right now, let's pull up this event. We've got my Cosmic Choice Recruit. You can see I get credit for G5. So there's an argument to be made that I should take this Sompek to max. Right? Why? Simply because I'm not going to be using as much original Tritanium. I'm not going to be using the G5 for anything else. Do it for leaderboards. But at 56, there's no reason to max this out unless you just want to. Again, wanting to do something is a legitimate reason to do anything in Star Trek Fleet Command. If you want to go to level 70 in 3 weeks, there's a player I know who did it. That's what you wanted to do. Hey, it's your money. Spend it how you want to. Who am I to say that's crazy? If you want to sit at level 39 for a year, like Sugar Fat Man, do whatever you want to do. But if you're trying to just be efficient, it makes no sense to max out a rare or a level 53 uncommon, though I still recommend getting them just as you're going through the process. It's nice to have, will help you along, etc., etc. I'm gonna go ahead and do this just because we're sitting here. Yeah. I'm currently level 46. Should I push for 49 and sit there or take it slow for now? Ben, really would depend on where you're at. Like, for example, do you have your relativity unlocked? How strong is it? Do you have your 46 rare? How strong is that? And the next spot I'd tell you to go is 50, not 49. So a few different questions there. How are you doing on your G4 Elite rares? Oh, I'm sorry, your G4 Elite solos. You know, these type of questions. And depending on how you answer, change my recommendation. They're all unlocked to max for your level. Well, if you have the relativity max for your level, then yeah, you need to go to 50. Yeah, I'd go to 50. So. Yeah, I'd go to 50. Play at your own pace, have fun with your teammates. Exactly, Ball Trick. And that's all I want to do. I want people to find their pace. Now, I will teach a pace that I have found talking to tens of thousands of Star Trek fleet commanders, what tends to work for most people. But what works for most will always not work for all. That's just how things go. There's going to be a segment of players who prefer this style or that style. I'm just here to try to help you find what it is for you. Let's see how far we can take this before I run out of epic gas. Right here, yeah, one part away. I might be able to trade that in and finish that up. Because I actually need gas anyway. Oh, no. Did that, oh, it took me up another million? Look at that. I'm almost, now I'm tempted to do it just so I can get up to 1 billion. All right. Back to comments and questions. Tribune, NSCA, GS31 for solo waves, OS 52. Yeah, that's a great run, Stanley. Absolutely a great run. Yeah, and with that run, you should be easily doing all 3 waves of your Elite 45. So that G4 Elite solo, you should be able to complete all of that with those 3 ships. And I would assume you are. So, at least the Devore and the Fuchsia still have uses for mining Latinum Mondays, even in max tiers. Do we need more raw Latinum and concentrated Latinum mining nodes? I would argue no, we don't. Now, I'm curious if people disagree with that. I don't personally see a need. Now, if there was an argument to be made, there needs to be a third version, as in Devore, Fuchsia, Ferengi Marauder, which would bring in even more raw, better Latinum. So you go Latinum, concentrated Latinum, ridiculous Latinum, and you would use the Ferengi miner to mine ridiculous Latinum, but the ridiculous Latinum paid out more Latinum than the others paid out Latinum. Does it sound like a Star Trek Fleet Command plan to you? Sounds like a Star Trek Fleet Command plan to me. So, I don't think you need more nodes of the original types. I think if you want to progress that, then you need a G6/G7 version of a Fuchsia. And I'm going to call it the Marauder. To be cool. And to choke them all and spit because I'm old. Yeah. Sigma Lat and Sigma C Lat. Oh, Lord. Let's not go there. Sugar Fat Man, you are now banned from chatting. Shut up. Be quiet. Yeah, be quiet. Where would you place the Ferengi Marauder? In what class of ship? It would be a mining ship. And I would literally just add to the already existing Latinum tab right here. Ferengi Marauder and have the same turn-ins that you did with the other 2. You would just get better Latinum payouts. Maybe, you know, for a G6 player, it paid out 1 million Latinum a day, which to you G4 players like, oh my God, that's a lot. G6 players will tell you it's not a lot, but it would be welcome. It'd be welcome, but it's not a lot. You know, but again, you know, it's just how would it work based on what they want to do. I also need to check and see if any of these need upgrading real quick. Ah, yeah, looky. That's depressing. I do need the warp range. Let me go ahead and do the warp range one. Get that done. Get that done for my relativity. So, Rev is sneaky leaking again. I would never. I did do it for the last 2 months, but I would never. Crazy. Why would Rev do that? He doesn't have an NDA. The Marauder is almost the same size as the Enterprise D. Yeah, correct. The Ferengi Marauder from TNG was. So, yeah. Can you make a video for the aggregation hostile crews? They do too much damage to my Katinga, tier 9, level 45. not the burning more from the... I don't understand the last part, Big Boss. I did do a video on the aggregation. They're not very strong. I actually blame Scopely for this. Scopely's had so many people rush up that people just aren't strong enough to take on aggregation. But for where a level 45, 46 player should be, aggregation hostiles are not strong. It's really crewing. Have you maxed out Nurse Chapel below decks? And I'm not saying that you're bad. I'm saying this is what I want you to do. Have you maxed out Nurse Chapel below decks? Have you maxed out Borg Q below decks? Right? Did you pick up Wrath of Khan Savik? Do you have Wrath of Khan Joaquin? Which is, again, something you get completely free to play in G4. Like, Scopely forcing all these people to level up has caused these problems. But we have way too many people who are completely just obliterating them at mid-levels. And Sugar Fat Man's an example. Now, I point him out to say that everybody can do that, right? And I never blame players because I understand it's, at the end of the day, it's Scopely making players feel like they've got to move up, they've got to rush up, etc. Right? Here's, let me pull up an example so that y'all can see. Here's Sugar Fat Man using a freaking Monavine. Almost said Minerva. Using a Monavine to take down one of the 45s. And the Monavine is an old piece of tech. That is not a new ship. King says Max Chapel in both Hue at 45 feels like it would take years. My level 36 account already has Max Chapel and has Hue tier 3. And I do not spend money. Officer Depot tokens. Using the augment system. Like, very easy to do. Now, it's easy to forget how to do it because this game is loaded with crap. 100% with y'all, and that's why I'm here, to help direct you in the ways that you need to go. Here, put this back. But come over to augment. All these down here. I'm sorry, all these down here. Get your Reliant. All these are options. But even if you don't, getting Joaquin done, that's big. This can be done completely free to play. We had players in G4 who have maxed out Joaquin just because they did the grinding. Then you've got the recruit chest, right? There's Hugh. There's multiple ways to do this. You just got to work on it. Like I said, I did that at level 36, so I know it's there. And it's multiple sourcing paths. To be clear, there's not like an easy button of do this one thing. Scopely has made it to where you have to do all the things, but all these options are available. And the problem is why I was just talking about playing slower. When you don't play slower, it's so easy to miss this one thing that causes you to then fail. You know, for a lot of PvP players, that one thing is ISO and ISO Cascade. For a lot of PvE players, it's certain officers they're missing, right? You know, Nurse Chapel is a big one. Savik's a big one. Hugh's a big one. Balana Torres, right? Balana Torres and all of the Voyager rares are very easy to max out via the ex-Borg faction. Not to mention that they have, what do they have, 8 total sourcings? Now, as a reminder, here, let me grab this and show it, because everybody, again, I put out way too much content to even expect all of y'all to keep up with it. But we have a spreadsheet called Officer Sourcing. I'm going to pull this up, and y'all can go get this spreadsheet for yourself. Give me a second, I'll put it on the screen. This spreadsheet will tell you how to source every officer based on your ops level. One sec, I'll put it on the screen, and then I'll have it in chat for you. So, here it is. Let me put it in the chat real quick so nobody's like, oh, Rev didn't tell me where to have it. Now, here's what you need to do. You take this document, go up to the top, and you make yourself a copy. When you make a copy, that will allow you to change this level. Now, I can change it. I'm not going to do it because it'll mess things up. Make a copy for yourself. You can change the ops level, but this will show you where everything can be sourced. So let's just scroll down to certain officers. Like, for example, dang it, I forgot how she's, let's just use Neelix. Neelix has 5 methods that you can source Neelix at level 70. Officer Depot tokens, Augment Faction Store, Rare Wrath Credit, Export Faction, Isomatter Refinery, right? It lists every single sourcing, right? Now, it will vary by level. That's fine. Moreau. We talk about Pipe Moreau Chin and Pipe Moreau E-Data and Pipe Moreau Anorax. 8 ways to get Moreau done. 7 ways to get Miles O'Brien done, one of your early Armada officers that still use heavily in G4 and G5. Now, you will find some that have nothing, but generally speaking, there are several ways to source everything. Catherine Janeway, one of the most important officers in today's game, whether you're G4 or G7, 9 sourcing paths. 9 to get Janeway. So again, I get it. There's way too much. That's why I'm here. You can reach out to me. It's not just Officer Depot tokens. It's not just Ultra Recruit tokens. I'll help you find the ways. I understand Scopely's made a way too complicated game. Hugh, 9 ways. Not to mention he's in the transporter pattern store now, which we have added. 9 ways. Hugh, 9. Like the German word for no, but I'm saying yes. 9 ways. So we just got to get everybody to that point, and then you'll get caught up. A lot of players who are 45 and you've got like a tier 9 Katinga, you have the ship to beat the aggregation hostile. You probably need the officers to beat the new aggregation hostile. So, also the new Reliant PT away tech gives efficiencies, making it even easier to max a lot of them. 100% correct. So again, I want to be very clear. If you feel like I've called you out, I am not calling you out. I blame Scopely for overcomplicating this game. You need a content creator like me and a spreadsheet like this to find stuff. That is a game problem. It's not your fault. I'm just showing you, okay, here's where we go. Here's how we get where you got to get. I'm not blaming the player. I'm blaming Scopely because it's silly that there's 9 places to find Janeway. There should be 1 place and we all go with the same currency and get the officer that we want. Duh. But that's not how this game works. So we have to play by the game's rules. And that's annoying. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Exactly what Sherlock said. I don't want anybody here to feel like I'm downing you. I'm downing the way they designed this game, which is, it almost requires you to spend 6 to 8 hours a day or have a content creator on speed dial to answer every question. And that's really annoying. So, that's really annoying. Yeah. Without some of this community, this game would make no sense. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so if y'all need help with this as well, this is another reason that I'm always talking about joining our Discord, whether it's me, Pseudo, Nigel, Sugar Fat Man, all the content creators. We have a lot of people who are glad to help you out if you're missing something, need help finding something. My DMs are always open. Ask Corey. Corey hits me up all the time about all kinds of stuff. I talk to him. That's why we stream on multiple platforms. We're on Twitch. We're on Discord. Right? We even have a Facebook page you can send a message to. If you sign up on my website, here's that once an hour promotion. If you want to support me so I can continue to argue with Scopely to make things better, so we can get those choice rewards back for level 44 and below, all these things, check out the website, revduce.com. You can support for as little as $5 a month. Little thing. There's the plug. I'm not one of those content creators who's going to constantly ask you for your money, but I will tell you, I can't do what I do without amazing people who do support us financially. Like, by the way, again, shouting out Scud Missile, because Scud Missile bought me the Dauntless. I'm not with Scopely anymore. They kicked me from their program. I don't get Scopely freebies and free ships all the time. So thank you to the community who allows me to make the content. So, yeah. You finished Anomalous Phenomenon? I have not, and thank you for the reminder. I had legitimately forgot about doing Anomalous Phenomenon. So thank you. I've not done that, and I will go do that now. Thank you for the reminder. Why did that happen? Why does Scopely not have me in their program? Because I do not align with Scopely's vision for a content creator. I am too negative in their opinion. I say things that they don't agree with, and there's a fundamental disagreement with the people who are in leadership over the content creator program and myself on how things should be. As the most politically correct way I can say it. Good news, if you want the full unedited version, we did a podcast episode on my website about it. Everybody who's a member has access to that podcast, and you can hear all the dirty behind-the-scenes details. Shameless plug. All right. Tell Scopely to stop invalidating game mechanics by making these new hostiles immune to bore cutting beam. Yeah, I get that. Yep. Yeah, I get it. Sure. 100%. 100%. Robert says, always love that. The content creators that people are truthful, not shills. They get mad about it and cut you out. Look, it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I haven't said things that you shouldn't say. I mean, if you're playing a game and work with a company, should you say F them? No. Have I? Absolutely. Yeah, shouldn't say that, regardless of disagreeable opinions. I also believe that there are certain people who, for example, General Manager Connor. Do I believe that Connor, the general manager who's putting out videos, really does want this game to succeed? He really does care for the player base? I really do believe he's genuine. Do I also believe he has people in his ear telling him the wrong things? Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm not going to stop saying that. And if that means that they won't partner with me, cool. Guess what? The only people I need to partner with me, right there. Yeah, you, looking at the ginger. That's all I need. You people. So thank you. You're the reason I'm able to feed my kids. You're the reason that when I have to have emergency surgeries, that I can pay medical bills, which is what we're working on now. It's all because of y'all. And a big thank you for that. And I will always put the community first, because the community is the one who actually cares about me. Scopely's not paying my medical bills. Scopely knew that I was in the hospital in the entire month of August. Scopely didn't reach out and go, hey, you want us to pay that? And not that I expect them to. To be very clear, I don't expect them to. I'm just saying it's always and will always be the community that matters here. And I love y'all for that. And thank you for that. Anyway, you did get a free Serene Squall? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Look, and I've always told y'all when I get stuff. But I did not buy a Serene Squall. I did not buy a Serene Squall. Now, since Scopely kicked me from their program, they have accidentally sent me stuff, but they didn't this month. They didn't this month. It says far more about Scopely than it does about Rev. I'll believe Rev has to say long before Scopely. Well, thank you, Mika. Again, I don't think everybody that works at Scopely is bad. There's great people there. We have fundamental disagreements on how this game should quote unquote run. That is what it is. That's not going to change, and that's fine. That's fine. What have they accidentally sent? So I had to buy the Reliant. They accidentally sent me the Serene Squall. Like, I wasn't supposed to get the Serene Squall. I told them, to be clear, y'all, I didn't do anything like shady. I literally messaged Obsidian Hamster and been like, you know that you gave me these things, right? I told them. I was honest. I didn't hide it. But yeah, they screwed up and sent me stuff after I've already been kicked from the program. Whatever. I was honest about it. Didn't happen this month. So, positive oopsie for Rev. It's like when you're playing Monopoly Go and you get the go around the board, collect $200. Yeah, there you go. Too bad they didn't accidentally send you about 20 command badges. I wish I could share command badges with you. Yeah. Come to the realization as the complexity of the game is what I love about it, even though it also causes headaches. There's also that dirty truth, Mel, that not a lot of us want to admit. And I've said it loudly before. I actually prefer the way hostiles are now than 3 years ago. It's actually a lot more fun that we have to figure out hostile crews instead of me just saying, pipe roach in, you're done. You're done. It's a lot more fun that when I'm hanging out with G7 players, we've got to start talking about the importance of Seska and things like that. That's a way more fun way to play Star Trek Fleet Command. Makes it more annoying, though. And John, no, you should absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'll be honest with y'all, there's nothing Scopely could do to get me to want to be in their program again unless they just came out of the blue and said, we'll give you a bunch of cash. And just let y'all know, if you ever see Rev suddenly flying the Scopely banner, they gave me a lot of cash. It's not going to happen. I do not want to be in their program. I do not want to have anything to do with their program. The person in charge of their program, I think, is a major problem in this game. No, thank you. I don't want anything to do with it. I don't want people to talk on my behalf. Don't talk to your VIP manager. Don't talk to a community manager. Don't message people on LinkedIn. I have zero desire to be in their program. None. But if they come with a suitcase of money, I will shell out. Just letting you know, it had to be a big suitcase. Real big suitcase. Thick. But zero desire. There you have it. There's the truth of the rep. To whoever was struggling with aggregation hostiles, try Strange New World James, Strange New World Sam, and Strange New World Pelia with Hugh, Blontours, and Chapel Below Decks. That is a great one. That's a great one. Well, $100 and over the hand pants stuff. Tell you what, Robert, I'll post my links and we'll talk. Thank you. Yeah, but real shout out for those. We got a little sidetrack. Aggregation hostiles. Do try that. Strange New World James, Strange New World Sam, Strange New World Pelia, all on the bridge. Then Hugh, BLT, and Chapel Below Decks. And if you have more below deck spots, add in Harry Kim, add in Neelix, add in Wrath of Khan Savick. Those will all help out as well. Those will all help out. Thomas, thank you very much for your support. No question day, but you still support, and I thank you for it. Can't do what I do without amazing people like yourself. Big thank you for people like you existing. Sincerely, it means a lot. It does mean a lot. So. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Just looking through my notes. I think I've got everything. I think we should be good. I think we should be good. Now this will happen like 50,000 or 100,000 per year with a job offer. I mean, basically that's what it is, Dustin, is I would need a job offer. And to be clear, I would have to be offered a job that had guarantees, you know, like a 2-year contract with benefits and a salary. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm deserving of 200 grand a year or something ridiculous, but yeah, I mean, I would have to be offered an actual salary job that had benefits, which, you know, benefits are good because, you know, family, kids, things like that. Sure. But I'm not just going to like, they're going to offer to, you know, give me $2 grand and then I'm just going to be like, woo, Scopely, they're the best. No, you don't know why? I'm not saying this in a braggy way, but you know who's giving me $2 grand already? You. How? Look up there. Look, I'm saying this sincerely. The community already did give me $2 grand and they didn't have to. Not a single freaking person is obligated to pay for Rev Deuce's medical bills. We are playing a video game made of pixels. You've already done it. Thank you, by the way, for those who support. And thank you for those who put up with this rambling and watch the video for other reasons. Thank you. Thank you for those who watch and like and subscribe. Yeah. Anyway, we're getting close to wrap up. Get your last minute questions in. Steven says, I think you're deserving a 200 grand contract with benefits for all that you do. Hey, Steven, if you want to offer me that contract, I'll sign. So, yeah. Corey says, and checked on you daily when you were dying of the Black Plague. Yeah, Scopely didn't do that. Nobody from Scopely community reached out when I was in the hospital for several days. No, so it's fine. The community is the people who care about me, and I will care about those who care about me. Crazy. Life lesson. All right. Can you only pay with a credit card to get a membership on your website? You can use PayPal. There's no way to like use cash only. Why did they get rid of these spend SOBs for under 44? Have they given a reason? They have not openly said a reason. I kind of know the reason. The reason is they want you to level up. They're trying to strong arm people to leveling up because you're missing out. That's the reason. I'm arguing against that. I do not think that is a good reason. I think that is a very messed up reason. But that's the reason. So, yeah, not a fan of that. Not a fan of that at all. Not a fan of it at all. Let me get this Armada launched. So. Aren't spend events the best time to level up? Historically, yeah. Paul says, Scopely forgot that gingers do indeed have souls. That's a big problema. The exact opposite thing is going for me is you're waiting till they're back. Yeah, and look, I try to get that across. And again, Scopely is entitled to experiment with their game to see what works. But I disagree with some things, and I'll be like with y'all, right? I have a level 36 account that I actually wanted to take to 40 this month. But because I don't have an Officer Depot token LB, it's really hard to justify dumping all my materials. Because you feel like at some point they're going to bring it back, right? Like it's not gone forever. It's just an experiment. So I'm just sitting there waiting. So anyway, Daniel says, Zindi Armada Crew 5-6 con. So here's the real quick skinny on a Zindi Armada. You run a normal Armada crew. That could be Miles, Dejas Tolraz, Cisco, all those officers. But remember this one key fact about Zindi. You want to, below decks, have Neelix and Dazok because you need to have burning and assimilate. Yes, Dazok works. Don't come asking, Rev, but the officer's wrong. As normal, the description is wrong. Run whatever bridge crew you normally run for Armadas. Just make sure you have below decks Neelix for burning and Dazok below decks for assimilate, because those have a specific requirement for that. In fact, let me show you what that reads as real quick. I'll send a ship so we can see it. Where's the closest one, just so I can show you the description? Are they starting the G5? Yeah. Here, give me 1 minute and I'll show you exactly what it is. What if my alliance's normal Armada bridge crew is Pipe and Road Chin? Then you need a new alliance. Or you just have a lazy level 70. I've also seen that. Yeah. I'll also, yeah. Or just overpower with the Enterprise E. Yeah, you can be like Scott and be the mega whale who's stronger than everybody. No shame in that. But just to answer the question, you want to run a normal crew. So your normal, how you would do an Armada crew. There's not a special crew for Zindi. You just need to make sure that you have the effects for Zindi. Here, let me go ahead and beam these real quick because I'm just getting I like to do a 2-for-1. I get all these things done at the same time. All right, we here yet? Give me a couple seconds. All right, so scan right here. Every 8th round, the Zindi weapon fires a super weapon, dealing lethal damage to one ship. If it's assimilated, chance to prevent this. You'll prevent it. Assimilate. At the end of the round, the Zindi weapon increases its weapons damage by 30%. If it is burning, there's a chance to prevent this. It prevents this. So you just want to have below deck burning, below deck Dazok, just to make sure that the Armada isn't super beefy. You'll take it down no problem. That's the one thing a lot of people forget. And if you're going as a group, just have everybody have Neelix below decks and Dazok below decks, and y'all just run 5-6 Con, Cisco, Miles, Dax, not Dax, or Cisco, Miles, Changeling, Kira, Dejas, Torah, Toli, Quinn DeMarco. All those work fine. Just have those 2 things below decks. There you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is a Sunday. I'm going to wrap it up. Got more content for y'all tomorrow. Greatly appreciate all of you who are here, all of you who support the channel, all of you who are kind and caring, because all of you really are. Thank you so much for all that you do for me and mine. I do appreciate you. Live long and plunder. Stay safe out there. If you need anything, my DMs are always open. Deuces. Catch you on the next video. I'm done. I'm out, and I'll stop rambling now. Bye.
An even better outro than the intro. For the Empire and glory to your house.